Choosing and handling the right knife is a key step towards healthy food preparation at home. The very first knife that I want to show you guys is a paring knife. As you see, it's much smaller and it's used for your small projects like peeling potatoes, capping strawberries, or coring tomatoes. When it comes to working with your meats and seafoods, there's one of two knives that you're going to want to have on hand. You could use a utility knife, which is kind of a cross between a paring knife and a fillet knife. Your fillet knife is going to have a long, skinny blade, and it's pretty flexible so that you're able to work with those meats properly and really get in those nooks and crannies to be able to trim those meats and seafood. The next knife that you're going to take a look at is your bread knife. This bread knife, as you see, has teeth for working with your smaller foods or your softer foods like your breads, tomatoes, and you can also use this for things like carving meat. Finally, I want to show you guys my favorite knife, which is the chef's knife. Typically, they have an 8-inch standard blade, and you're going to hold your chef's knife by gripping the handle as well as pinching the blade, keeping the tip of the knife downward on your cutting board or cutting mat. You never want it to come off of the board or the mat, and you're going to use this with a rocking motion. You always want to have a sharp knife, and for that reason, you're going to hand wash all of your knives. If you put them through the dishwasher, it will dull the blade over time, and you always want to have a sharp blade when you're working with foods in the kitchen. You may have seen this tool before, and this tool is called a sharpening rod. However, it doesn't actually sharpen your knives, it just helps to keep them sharp. So if you have a brand new knife, have one of these on hand to help keep your blade sharp. If it's a little too late for that, you're going to want to have a sharpening tool. This sharpening tool has two phases. The very first phase that you take your blade through is the fine setting, and this is really going to help to get out some of those micro tethers that may happen to your knife blade over time. Next, you're going to run it through the coarse phase or phase 2, and that's going to be what actually helps to get some of that steel off of your blade to make it sharp once again. And then you're just going to simply wash your knife and meet me back here in our next video. I'm going to show you guys how to use this chef's knife with a variety of produce.